Lego sent me all the One Piece sets, so like the Going Merry pirate ship, the buggy, the clown circus tent, which might look cool in the amusement park, and this might look cool somewhere around the island, or just on the shelf with all of the other pirate ships that we have. Also the battle at Arlong Park. That's actually pretty neat. That might look cool in the amusement park, once again. And the largest one is the Baratie Floating restaurant. It has 3,402 pieces. It retails for $330 US, so it's under that like 10 cents per piece price point. Plus it comes with a bunch of minifigures. Now the issue is I don't know anything about One Piece. I've never watched the animated series, which I think consists of like over 1,000 episodes, and I've never watched the live action series, which is on Netflix. That's why we have the Netflix branding on the packaging there. I think that's the first time we've ever had Netflix branding on the packaging. Or did the Wednesday ones have that as well? I don't know. I didn't get any of those sets. But this is the set that I decided to build first, the Baratie Floating Restaurant, because I thought maybe this would be pretty cool to integrate on the island here. We've got an island and it's like a pirate ship, so it might look cool there. However, after seeing it, I'm like, you know, it's a really neat build, but I don't know if I want to put this on my island or not. So this set actually comes with 12 minifigures. We've got 10 up front here. Of course, I don't know any of their names. And I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like doing research on all of these characters to find out what their names are and try and memorize them. I just don't know. I don't know, but I do plan on watching that live action series. It is on my Netflix wanted list, to be watched list, I guess. I like the print detailing on a lot of these. Like, look at this guy. He sort of looks like the Undertaker from WWE. Hey? That's rad. Look at his new like sword element. That's crazy. Also, this guy's beard. It's like a neck decoration. And his wood leg. Also, this guy has an interesting neck decoration as well. Look at that. The like samurai sword is in his mouth. Isn't that unique? So it's a neck decoration. Right? He also comes with an alternate green hair, which is right over here. So this is the 10 minifigures. And then we have 2 more right here. They're like mermaid statues in sand green. Look at the leg piece. Very cool. So one on either side of the door, and they're presented at that really unique angle. And in general, this Baratie Floating Restaurant, I think that's how you say it, has a really interesting angle. It almost looks like curved. You see how it sort of like bows? That's because these are at an angle on either side, but they're also rounded using the curved slopes, so it makes it look like it's curved. I like the color usage here too. We've got like the red, the reddish brown, the sand green, some of that like turquoise and the gold accents. Really pops. And we got this little mini boat as well, which is all brick built. So it's not like we got like a pre-molded piece. He actually built it using Lego elements. So it's pretty interesting. However, I know for a fact it won't float. On the front of the restaurant or ship, we actually have 2 doors. So we can open this one and that will lead us into the restaurant. And we can also open this one here. But you'll notice there's like this dock out front and there's this large gear. So when I rotate this gear, it's going to spin the circular 2x2 plates there, allowing us to put our minifigures in a fighting sort of scene. We got the guy with the sword in his mouth and the Undertaker. I'm just kidding, not the Undertaker, with the enlarged sword going at it. So that's pretty cool. I like that play feature. And this can actually be removed. So this is like a separate module, which is currently pinned in place, so we can remove it like so. Got like the sand green windows with the black like grill window glass in there. I like those ones. Usually use them in gold. And they have the shutters going over top so we can close the windows like so. And that's just like the red flag elements. Got some lighting above there. This circular sticker element framed nicely with the curved gold elements there. Up top there's a place to sit. You got the lime there. And also these like sand green head elements for decoration. I think that looks really cool. This is a large sticker element, and on the very top is a representation of like a small pirate ship. So it's a large ship, which is a restaurant and bar, with a smaller ship sort of as a decoration on top. And the pirate ship can actually be removed. It's modular. So hey, look at that. We've got a new boat with an open back. It's an open back boat. And you can actually remove the entire top of the restaurant like so. I don't see why you would want to do that, but you build it as a separate module, so I don't see why they wouldn't just make it modular anyway, so you can remove it. There you go. It's just held in place by however many studs there. Look at the gold lips on this like fish, which actually serves as a bar. You can see inside there's the bar, the rounded like window element there, and then you've got a couple places to sit. So on this side we have the door which leads into the like kitchen area, and this can also fold down as a ramp as well, and you can see there's some utensils that are clipped to the wall there. There's the interior of the bar, so they use those like solid window elements within the rounded piece, which is pretty cool to create the bar. And then there is a print piece right there of Buggy, and another one above right there, which is Luffy. And over here is Alvida? I'm sorry. I don't know the characters. I need to watch it. But the print pieces are actually randomly inserted into the set, and they're wanted posters. So there's 8 different wanted posters that are randomly inserted into the set, which is very similar to what they did with Harry Potter and those 2x2 printed tiles with the different characters. So the bar on the right, and then on the left here we have the kitchen. You can see there's like a crab and a fish and a couple different counters to cook on or prep food. Nothing too crazy with the kitchen though. You know, it's not like there's any like big ovens or any like very intricate builds within there, I don't think. Like nothing crazy. Same with the bar. Like it wasn't done in a way that was over the top. Like I'm talking about the mini builds found within the set, just in my opinion. We've got the curved sitting areas here, which are pretty nice. I like that. That's cool with the curved tiles there. It's like the booths, the round tables, and then the central table in the middle there. These booths are on turntables, so they can like turn too. Pretty interesting build. They're not really modular in the sense that I can pop them off without them falling apart. Okay, we can sort of remove that, I guess. There you go. You can check out the turntable within. Yeah, so they have like a little bit of a range of motion, which is pretty neat. I like that build. Pretty interesting. Might have to try and replicate these for a different like mock of my own or something. Yeah, I think those are really well done. But once again, I don't think the mini builds found within the kitchen area are that crazy. Up top here we have an office, and there's like a snail piece right there. And also the map print piece, a compass, and this cabinet. And the winding staircase in the middle was really well done. We've seen builds like that before, but man, that is so cool. I like how there's 2 of them and they sort of meet in the center, and there's some sticker detail on the wall there. There's some pictures, and also that bee, and like the handwriting is sticker detail as well. And up top here, there's some nice texture built with the wedge plates. I like the color too of the dark red and dark blue. Then we have like the amethyst gem piece there, and a sword on the back side of that pirate ship. And there's, once again, a place to sit up top here on like the patio. I really like the way that everything is tiled off. I think this decoration looks really good for the floor, and also the decoration found within the kitchen. What do you think, everybody? Should this go on the island in front of the Lego City here? Maybe, maybe, maybe. It's a pretty neat build. It's pretty awesome. But once again, I wish I watched the source material. It would just be so much more meaningful to me if I watched the source material. And I promise, once again, I can't stress enough, I'm getting on it. I'm going to do it. We're going to watch it. And then it's going to make a lot more sense to me. But yeah, let's like see what it would look like within the water on the island here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. When you like place it in the water and you see it, you're like, okay, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like that. But then you look at something like the Italian Riviera, and it's like, hey, does something like this belong by something like that? No. And is this the vibe that I'm going for with the island? No, but if I was going for that vibe, it would definitely make sense. If I was trying to place things like, let's say like pirate ships, like Metalbeard Sea Cow and the Black Seas Barracuda, or even the Pirates of Barracuda Bay on the island, then it would probably make sense. But yeah, you can see why I'm not filming my review up here today. I'm living in a mess. I hosted a live stream yesterday for 8.5 hours, and I'm just working on processing that here today on this lovely day. This is what I've got done so far. A mountain of boxes as tall as me, starting with the biggest stuff, which is obviously the hardest stuff to ship, and working my way down. But I mean, if I was going for a pirate vibe, if I was going for a fantasy sort of feel on this island, then this set and these other sets would make a lot of sense. But with that said, these other sets could be modified to a point where they would actually make sense in places like the amusement park and the island, etc. But unfortunately, I'm not. I'm going to try and go with this sort of feel, which is like an extension of the Lego City. So my plan is to build a bunch more of these styles of buildings and have them along the coast and in this area. And it's like dense over here. Not dense, but like denser. And then as we move that way, it becomes a little bit more sparse and tropical and full of like trees and vegetation and all that. So I'm not really going for this feel. So at this point, I really don't know what to do with this set. I could place it on the shelves with the other ones, but I think the top priority, once again, is to watch the source material. So it, resonates with me a lot more than it currently does. But man, the build was super cool. Like you saw that, like you see the curves of the boat and the way the bar was created that looks like a large fish. It's just so cool. We got like the mini little pirate ship on top, and the minifigures and the characters I feel like are done in a pretty good way as well. So not a bad set for sure, but it's got to have meaning to me, unlike Marvel and DC and Star Wars and all that. But that's my next top priority with this bad boy. With all of that said, though, I think I've done a pretty good job of integrating a lot of different themes and a lot of different things within the city that I'm passionate about, like Pop Culture Street. Your typical Lego city, at least where I'm from, doesn't have an Avengers Tower and a Daily Bugle and Ninjago City and all that different stuff. So I don't really mind integrating fantasy into the city, but it's got to have meaning to me. So I'm going to try and see what we can do here with some soul searching on that. But also, I think the city's at the point where I've integrated a lot of sets. I've put a lot of sets in my city. So with the whole addition of the countryside and the mountains through the center and the newest addition being this island, I really want to take the opportunity to do a lot more custom stuff rather than placing sets like this in there. I think this was a good catalyst for inspiration for this project. Hey, you know what I just thought of though? Since this is a pirate ship or has like a pirate ship theme to it, it belongs on an island or within water or around water somewhere. I don't know. And I just cleared this cubby right here with your help during this weekend show. So thank you so much. That cubby is now open for the taking, and I'm hoping that set is going to fit down there for now, temporarily. Well, would you look at that, everybody? It fits perfectly. The minifigures in front. Maybe straighten it out just a little bit, make it square. There you are. That's nice. And it's right beside our spare, tall assembly square and the Stormtrooper. I think that makes sense. It makes me happy. Look at that. It's right below the island. Sure, it doesn't have a home on the island, but for now, it's below it. Perfect. You know what? I'm happy with that. I think it makes sense for now, but maybe eventually I could group it together with the other pirate ships up here. Because you got 3 pirate ships plus the other boats, so maybe it would make sense up there. Or I can try and find a home for it down there. Because eventually it's going to have to move. Because I'm not sure I think under there is going to be like the deep sea. I don't know if it's going to stretch all the way along the front of that table. That might be a bit crazy, but it can definitely or expand to that if I truly wanted it to. Wouldn't that be an insane deep sea area stretching all the way across the front of the island? But right now it's currently down there below the deep sea, and then the shelving for the subway goes in front of it. So I think that doesn't really make sense, and I've got to relocate it. Plus I'd rather it be at the front so we can actually see it. And I think it's going to have the most visibility there, so that'll be pretty neat. And I still want to do my end goal of, once I get like some of the base plates laid on the subway, which I actually ordered enough of in light gray to do the entire subway, which is pretty insane. So eventually that's going to be all base plated, so we can actually kickstart the subway project. So it's going to be pretty sweet. But eventually when that's all base plated, I want to put the skirting down. So the black skirting, so you don't really see the table legs, at least in the front of the city. And then wherever there's no deep sea in the front here, I'll put the skirting as well, so you don't see all the legs of the tables. And I think that's going to clean up the feel of this a lot. I might even put skirting in the access points, but for now I'm popping up there like daily. That's why my toes of my shoes are so worn out. It's funny, I was saying this morning, or I've been saying this week, that my next project is dealing with this lighthouse. I've been saying that for a week, but I just get distracted by things. Like this here, you know, I've got 104 shipments I got to get out today. So if you came by that show, thank you once again, I appreciate it. Yeah, that was awesome. And I was mentioning that all the proceeds of that was dedicated to the parts project. So like all the base plates for the subway and things like that. Also all the base plates for the medieval area. Hey, maybe it should go with the medieval stuff. Maybe it'll make sense over there, hey? There you go, the set I'm talking about there. Look at that though, I'm editing down here. Hey, it's not a bad view. It's not a bad view while I'm editing. That's really about it. Just wanted to share my experience with the Baratie Floating restaurant, the one-piece thing. Hopefully I can get home tonight and maybe we'll start watching the live action. There we go. I think that makes sense. But yeah, I better get back to it here because I got lots of stuff to do. Make sure you stay tuned because we're going to be working on more stuff involving the island. I want to work on the mini builds or mini little modular buildings for the continuation of the Italian Riviera, and I want to work on this corner here with this lighthouse. I have a really good idea with that. It's just a matter of getting around to actually doing it. Hopefully this August, which is just around the corner. Have a great day, everybody. Farewell, and we'll see you again soon. All right, farewell.